3, 2,
Eric Bailey, Mason Young from Columbia, Missouri, Saturday night / Sunday morning, where Oklahoma lost 30-23 to the Missouri Tigers in a wild game that really was slow for 3 quarters and then just went nuts.
Right, yeah, it was incredible. Missouri had a 16-9 lead with not very much time left, and he thought, oh, he's out of this. Then all of a sudden, this moribund offense that hadn't done anything in the second half hits a big play. They go with some trickery, and Jackson Arnold hands it off to Taylor Tatum, who throws it back to him, and Arnold gets a key block from Logan Howland and runs it in for a touchdown. We got a tie game all of a sudden. Just unbelievable. And then what does Missouri do? They were trying as hard as they could to let these Sooners win, to shoot themselves in the foot. They fumble it, and OU's Billy Bowman takes it back for a touchdown. And all of a sudden, OU has the lead, and with only
2 minutes to go.
Yeah, not much time left. You're thinking, can Mizzou do this with a backup quarterback in Drew Pine, who hadn't really looked all that great the majority of the night? And what does he do? He finds Luther Burden, who kind of found a hole in the defense, was able to make a big play up against the sideline, and then he hits Theo Weiss, the former Sooner, for the game-tying touchdown on OU's head in the corner of the end zone. And then at that point, I guess it was time for OU to shoot itself in the foot. And Jackson Arnold, you want to talk about what he did?
Jackson Arnold's had trouble with turnovers all year, and he had the key one with 30 seconds to go. Oklahoma tie football game. You wonder what was going to happen. And Oklahoma started playing aggressively. They decided they were going to try to score instead of let the clock run out, play for overtime with the 23-23 game. Instead of running the clock out, they were going to try to move the ball into field goal range. Zach Schmidt did hit a 56-yard field goal at the end of the first half. They thought if they could get the ball down, try to kick a field goal to win the game, they'd be aggressive. Jackson Arnold scrambles right, tries to outrun it, fumbles the ball for the 3rd time in the game, loses it. Scoop and score for Missouri. That's the ball game. Jackson Arnold has lost the ball 6 times this season, or he's fumbled 11 times, lost it 6 times. I asked Brent Venables after the game if this become a major issue. Brent Venables tried to temper it a little bit, then finally just said obviously it's become something that it's been a major problem this year. Jackson Arnold after the game did say that he really does need to work on it. He understands that, but it has become turnovers. I think, what are they, -8, -9 this year in SEC play, and it's turned into points, and it really hit him. We thought Sooner Magic was going to take over with 2 minutes to go when Billy Bowman made that big play. This stadium was going nuts, got quiet. But then, of course, like you said, a 75-yard drive killed him, tied the game. The defense had played well not all night long, just gave up that big, long drive. Momentum shifted. But there were some good points, too. And we talk about special teams. You talked about the trick play, but then there was another trick play in the first half, which gave Oklahoma momentum early.
Right, yeah. That was maybe one of the very few silver linings in OU's punter, Luke Elzinga, who's a former high school quarterback. They faked a punt, and he threw a 48-yard pass to Bauer Sharp that was a big gain for OU. I think it was actually 43, but whatever. Got him in there, and they got a field goal for the first points of the game. And Zach Schmidt was money tonight for OU as well. He hit 3 field goals, including a 57-yarder career long right before halftime. Really big showing for him, and impressive to see how far he's come after, not even having the starting job anymore to begin the season. So some good special teams play, but that's honestly kind of been the thing for OU all year is, the special teams have been, especially Elzinga, has been, fairly good. And the defense has, generally speaking, played good enough to win. And the offense, gets them no help. I think it's pretty embarrassing, but here's maybe the craziest stat from tonight. OU had 2 passing plays more than 10 yards. I think there was actually 3 if you count the 14-yard completion to Deion Burks that he fumbled, which is another key turnover. But beside that, I think that was Jackson Arnold's only completion over 10 yards. You had the throw by Tatum, and you had the throw by Elzinga, were the other 2. That stat just puts into perspective how abysmal this offense has become with Jackson Arnold.
The Sooners get an off week before finishing the season with a home game senior night against Alabama, and then they go to Baton Rouge. They need to win one of those last 2 games to become bowl eligible. The 25-year streak of bowl games is in jeopardy. It's going to be a tough task for Oklahoma to win either of those games. Brent Venables understands that. He said that they're going to use the bye week to try to get better, but man, there's a lot of work to be done. I think Oklahoma's going to be heavy underdogs in both of those games. We've really seen the offense struggle after taking a confidence building game against Maine. They thought they could build off of that. They really didn't show a lot. They really looked like they could run the ball in spurts this game. The run game actually took, true freshmen.
Yeah, Xavier Robinson and Taylor Tatum were both pretty good tonight.
Oklahoma was out without Gavin Sawchuk tonight, but those two really took the load a little bit. So there were some bright spots, but again,
no Javonte
Barnes either. So going into the off week, it's time to try to heal up a little bit and try to build anything you can to try to scratch out a win. But that's going to be tough with 2 weeks to go, 10 weeks in. We'll see how these Sooners finish up. Be sure and read all our coverage at the Tulsa World, and all keep track. Barry Trammell, Eric Bailey, Mason Young, TulsaWorld.com.